Hey guys, Robert from robertoreed.com. Just want to give you guys a little bit of crypto conversations, or should I say a little bit of a beginner's lesson, of beginner's guys, but I'm going to let my boy, who I affectionately call Crypto Chris, he's going to just kind of give you some of the some of the ins and outs, some of the basics. Okay, this is not like some sort of advanced course or anything where you guys can run out and invest like Warren Buffett in cryptos, but it will give you a good foundation, some fundamentals, some things that you want to watch out for, because we know that cryptos are really exploding right now. But what you don't want is an explosion of people who are just investing on pure emotion and pure speculation. You want a little bit of education. Well, I shouldn't say a little, but you want as much information and education as you can possibly get your hands on, so that you can have confidence in what you are investing in. So I'm going to go ahead and let Chris take over, just show you a couple things. This video is not going to be super long, so we're going to let you guys enjoy some of this information, get you guys off to a good start. Now, when we're done at the end of the video, just check the description box below, and we'll have the links to places that he's going to. We'll have the links down there below so you guys can get going. So enjoy.
All right, hey guys, this is Crypto Chris. We came up with that name yesterday, so don't judge too harshly. So I am also pretty new in the cryptocurrency game. I've been following it since about high school, but back then I didn't really have the resources to get fully involved. But I've kept a pretty close finger on the pulse of it all, and now that I'm in the workforce and have my own funds to invest with, I've been working a little closer with my dad there, Robert, and we're trying to learn all this as we can together, and we want to share some of the things we've found to be helpful in this journey. So I want to start off with saying the most important thing if you're trying to get involved with cryptos is doing your research, because just like any asset class, and if you were to ask any person who's trying to teach you about finances and investing, you never want to invest in an asset that you do not personally believe in. So what I mean is, if you don't believe that a company like Facebook is going to continue to grasp the attention of everyone, like myself personally, I don't care much for the platform, so I would not invest in it even though it's wildly successful. And so I think that's an important thing to realize, that your investments shouldn't always be about making money and capital gains. It should be about putting your money towards something you truly believe in, because that's the best way to show progress. So with that said, the first resources I would show to anyone are news resources or educational ones. And so you might see I currently have Reddit open. Reddit, you have to weed through a lot of stuff that's not important. But I think what's really great here is that the people on this subreddit, 608,000 people, they're all really here to help each other out and spread as much information as we can. And I think that's kind of the underlying basis of cryptocurrencies is us as a society being able to have a little more control over the way we send money and how we interact in our economy. So I think the most important post here is right here at the top. They have pinned, don't invest recklessly. It's really easy to get caught up in the emotion, panic buys, panic sells, and that's not how you make money. All investments need to go in with a level head and really weigh all the information you have. So I would think anyone should quickly read through this post I'm scrolling through. They talk about a lot of things that have happened in the past, especially right here. They talk about how Bitcoin, even though it's wildly successful over its lifetime, has gone through some pretty tumultuous times where it hit something high, it crashed very low. And I think something to highlight here when they're outlining these huge dips is, could you survive this? Don't invest anything that you need to pay bills, to feed yourself. Just be smart. So really take some time to read through these posts on places like Reddit. This is not the only source we're going to go through. Here we have the Ethereum subreddit. You can learn more. Not all cryptos are the same. Not even the technology they're based on is the same. So there's really a lot you need to learn. So I personally mostly believe in the Bitcoin technology and the Ethereum technology. I'm not going to get too involved in those. They're very technical, but there are a lot of resources out there that can help you learn about them, including these two subreddits. Then there's, if you're just interested in cryptocurrencies as a whole, this is the subreddit for cryptocurrencies. They talk about all of them. You can hear about new cryptos that are coming out to the market, new initial coin offerings. If you have heard anything about that, they run similar to publicly traded businesses, but instead it's kind of like a crowdfunding to get a new technology started. So there's a lot of these resources on Reddit. I apologize, you will have to weed through plenty of content that's mostly jokes and memes, but there is some really good stuff in there. And the comments section can be filled with really great discussions of people here trying to help each other out. So that's for the community side. If you want some more reputable sources and some more technical analysis, I recommend places like this. This is called cointelegraph.com, pardon me. And like we said, we'll include links to all these in the description. But every week or bi-weekly, this place releases a price analysis that will go through, and it's really easy when you're looking at prices day to day to get wrapped up in how the asset has performed that day or even over the course of a couple days. It's really good to look over further back, a month, 3 months, 1 year, because that's how you end up in the panic. I was invested in Bitcoin when it hit really close to 20,000 before dipping all the way down to 11. And a lot of people were worried about that because they're like, oh my goodness, look at that huge drop, 19,000 down to 11. What they weren't looking at was over the past month, that was still up well over, I think, 400% from the previous month. So instead of seeing in a short term how something's performing, you really want to see in a long term. And these analyses are very good at showing you the graphs, showing you these patterns and trend lines, and understanding how they do that technical analysis. And you'll learn about other things. They throw in words here like pullbacks, resistance, hurdles, stuff like that. They do have a real meaning, and that is something I'm going to be able to get to in some of these later trading charts. But right now, when you say you're looking at this Bitcoin analysis, it can show you, because they're watching the orders in real time. They can predict that, hey, when we get to this price range, it's going to be hard to overcome that. A lot of people are going to be selling and trying to take profits. So this is another technical resource you can use. They do a price breakdown and analysis for all the main cryptos: Bitcoin, Ethereum here, Bitcoin Cash, Ripple, IOTA, Litecoin, Dash. So really, Monero. So it's a long list. And so this whole website, so I'm scrolling so fast that can be disorienting. So this whole list, you have lots of news resources and guides, the analysis charts. So really, before you get involved in anything, if you're just now trying to buy in and take a position, you really want to analyze how these have performed over the last year or so, year down to the 3-month range, maybe by quarter, and because that's a lot of how the big names in the game are going to be taking their profits. A lot of things are based on the quarter, and I mean a quarter of year there. So really do your research before you ever get involved in any of these. And another thing to look at is, since these are speculative assets, a lot of the prices and the trading is not inherent and implicit in value, and it's not based on cash flow like a publicly traded company. So another great place to look is places like this, news.bitcoin.com. You can see a lot of the news involved with any of the different cryptos, and realize that a lot of this news you see, while it's not completely exhaustive and it can't tell you exactly where the price is going to go, based on people's reactions to this news and the hype around it, if you can read the comment sections in forums like Reddit, if you can see this news, if a major exchange like Coinbase is about to support a new crypto, that's a good indicator that the price is going to very sharply increase and then possibly drop down, as we saw. So in this just a couple of weeks ago. So definitely keep your finger on the pulse. Look at these press releases; those are really important. Look at the news tab. Really, as I said, you're going to see lots of memes, but really pay attention to everything we see, and realize that all the news is that it's going to be biased. It's going to play to someone's agenda. So don't necessarily believe every news article you see, and don't make any trades solely off of a single article. So now that we've kind of seen some of the resources when you get into trading, probably the first place you're going to look to start making those buys will be a place like Coinbase. So this is the most popular American exchange, and this is the one I started using. So this is my personal account. I don't believe anything, personal that you can, steal my identity here is available. But so I started here, and I started off with buying Bitcoin. You can see in my portfolio, where I started doing Bitcoin, my recent activity. So this is kind of, I wanted to show you as a bit of advice. And this is cool because it shows you all these different time breakdowns. But around August, or around early September, is where I first started really getting involved. So I bought my first position around here, around the end of September in the 4,000s. Even then, that was a risky buy, but it paid off because it kept going up. I got my next position around 7,000 or so. It dipped down. I got another position around 9,000. And so these are all positions that are, paying off for me. I'm in the green for them. I did, however, take another position at 16,160. And if we go back to this price analysis, right now they say we have this resistance going to that range. So, that's something that you can kind of see. And I know that getting back to that point where that position I took will be profitable is going to take some effort. So I've set price alerts. That's a cool thing on here. You can they have these tools. You have your buy and sell tab. So like I was trying to say, we have these tools. You can set reoccurring transactions. Every paycheck I want to put $50 into a certain asset or something like that. On the mobile app, you can set price alerts so you know when something's going to hit. So I have a price alert to know exactly when that position I took will be back in the green, and that way I can look at that. But otherwise, I don't really want to look at it day to day because that's what really gets the emotions to run high. So what I do want to do is take a moment to show you some of my personal some failures, and that would be with Ethereum. So Ethereum is a technology that I have strong belief in the long term, so I'm going to hold on to it. But I was at a position where I couldn't buy it when I wanted to, and then I was watching the price run up, and so I ended up buying emotionally near all-time high of 777. So since I bought that, and one thing you need to pay attention to is on these platforms, you can only buy with like a credit card or a bank account. And when you pay with a credit card, the coins will be available immediately, but you pay a surcharge for the convenience, maybe 20, 30 extra dollars on the full thing, which means you have to wait that much more for the price to increase before it's profitable. Whereas when you buy with a bank account, you don't pay an extra fee, but the coins aren't available for a full week. So when I bought here at this, on the 18th, as you can see down here, those coins weren't then available until way down here on the 23rd, 5 business days later. And as you can see, since I bought them at 777, the price hasn't returned to that level. So I'm still waiting to see where that will become profitable. So that's where I made a mistake, and I bought near all-time high. But like I said, since it's an asset I believe in long term, I have no intention of selling these to try to realize any profits anytime soon. I personally believe that in 2018, Ethereum is going to perform very well, similarly to the Bitcoin technologies did this year. So we're waiting to see. And that's also great because Ethereum is the backing technology for Ripple, another cryptocurrency that my dad and I have some high hopes for. So once I was, got involved here in Coinbase, and I was more interested in learning more about the actual day-to-day trading and trying to see if I could have any kind of anything that's indicative of where the price is going to go. I wanted to move to a more exhaustive platform with more capabilities. So I found my way to GDAX, which is Coinbase's dedicated trading platform. So when you see GDAX, it's synonymous with Coinbase. There's no reason to make it a differentiation. But here, it's if you haven't seen a trading view before, it's pretty confusing. There's a lot of numbers moving at you. It's in real time. So I want to take a moment to kind of break it down piece by piece. And since we're reaching our time limit, we're going to go ahead and do this in the next video. So stay tuned for part 2 of our cryptocurrency beginning starter kit, and we'll be with you shortly.